This is going to be the ultimate guide to the relics mod in Minecraft. I'm going to be taking you through every single relic and how they work. We're going to be starting off with the Magma walkers. These will be the example. I'm going to explain to you how the mod works, and then we're just going to look at all the other relics and see basically what they do. So basically, in the curio slot, you can add relics. Here we have Magma walkers. When I hold left shift, I get this screen come up. Number one, how do we find them? Each relic in the game will be spawning in often like loot chests and things like that. And there's 25 relics to get. There is a researching table, but that is completely removed from the mod. We're starting off here with the Magma walkers. So basically, to find Magma walkers, there's a chance that you can find them in chests and places like that in the Nether, Inferno, Hell, Chasm, Lava, Magma, Melt, Fire, Flame, Blaze, Ember, or Pyre in the name of the loot table. Meaning, any mods that add anything with those tags in the loot table, it has a chance to spawn in those areas. So, you know, biome mods, etc. If it's called lava something, then it could spawn in that biome. Basically, anywhere in the Nether or hot places, you're probably going to find some Magma walkers. There's also a chance for them to spawn in any chest in the Nether at a much lower spawn rate than the other biomes, and that's at a fifth of the rate. So when we pick up our relic, we can left shift to research it, and that brings up this screen here. Now, underneath it, you can see this little bar, and it shows that the ability quality is 0.5 out of 5. So whenever you pick up a relic, it does a loot roll on itself, and you could, think of it as sort of uncommon and rare and epic. The ability quality could be 0.5 or it could be 5. Obviously, the higher you get, the better the quality of the abilities in this relic. We can re-roll the stats using experience. As you can see here, I have 3 experience points, player experience from vanilla Minecraft, gained by killing mobs, mining ore, and smelting items, etc. So when we go onto the abilities tab, which is these 3 tabs here, abilities, you can see that I can level it up, but I don't have an upgrade point, or I can re-roll random stats. If I re-roll those stats, then it's going to cost you 50 experience points, which is about 5 levels. So now that I've got 18 levels, I have enough to re-roll the stats. Go into Curios, Magma Walkers, and under here, what I could do, you can see it's lit up, re-roll random stats. I can hold shift to automatically re-roll random stats to perfect values, and it'll just keep going. As you can see here, the stats I have on here shows Fiery Tread. So it says for 21 seconds, allows walking on lava. And that's basically what we're trying to re-roll with this one here. So I've just clicked it once, which has actually had a really good re-roll. And basically it now says for 41 seconds, we can walk on lava. And as you can see, it's re-rolled the ability quality to 3.5 out of 5. Our luck is at 0%, gained with each unsuccessful re-roll. Meaning, if I re-rolled it and it doesn't re-roll to higher than 3.5, I'll gain some luck. So if I click it again, it's now gone down to 0 quality. However, my luck has gone from 0% to 4%. The only thing is, so basically luck means that you'll obviously have a higher chance of getting higher stats. However, every time you get an unsuccessful one where, it decreases the ability quality, your luck goes up. But every time your luck goes up, it's now going to cost you more. Now it costs 70 player experience. I do it again, and it's gone up to 2.5. I do it again, it's gone down, and now I've got 5% luck. It's gone up again, and it's gone down again. I've now got 8% luck, but now it's going to cost me 90 player experience. Hopefully I'm explaining this well. Basically, you can re-roll to higher stats, but if the stats go down, you gain some luck. The higher your luck, the higher the chance for it to get better stats. Obviously, at 100% luck, you're pretty much, I guess, guaranteed a full 5 out of 5 quality, but it's going to get more and more expensive to re-roll the higher your luck. So the higher the chance to get higher stats, the higher the chance, the higher the experience cost. And this here just shows you your experience levels and your experience points. Like I'm now level 5 in Minecraft, and it will show me here that I have 66 experience points, and it will cost me 90 experience points to upgrade it. Now, Fiery Tread is level 0 out of 10, and I've got another experience bar, relic experience. So, as I said, Magma Walkers mean you can walk on lava for, now that I've re-rolled, 23 seconds. So I can literally, as you can see here, walk on lava. And if I go into my Curio slot, while I'm standing on it, I've got 5% experience. And in a few seconds, this will go up to 6% experience. Basically, using the ability will level up the relic and the abilities that you have on this relic. It's now 7%, it's now 8%. But after that 23 seconds, these boots are going to overheat. See, they are now overheating, and it's now doing damage. And for a few seconds after I leave the lava, they need to cool down. And I may even die if, I take too much damage. So another ability we have on these Magma Walkers is Heat Resistance, suppresses damage from hot blocks, and then Fiery Tread allows walking on the surface of lava without striking or taking damage. The maximum value on this Fiery Tread is going to be 100 seconds, by the way. When we level up the Fiery Tread to, 100 in here, then you can actually get leveling points and level up your ability to make it better as well. And then we've got the Experience Sources tab here. Each time any relic in the inventory gains experience, regardless of the method, 25% of that experience is also gained by this relic. And that basically is how the relics mod works. So now that we've gone through how they work, what relics do we have? There is the Reflecting Necklace. This one can be found by searching ruined nether portal chests where they have a spawn rate of 500. They also have a similar spawn rate for other chests that use loot tables that contain nether, inferno, hell and all of that basically. And it can spawn in any other chest within the nether, just like the Magma Walkers at 100 weight, which is a fifth of the other. It has one single ability, Infernal Hatred, which is basically a self-defense against attacking mobs. It's worn in the necklace slot, and what it basically does is it accumulates damage taken by the wearer into its internal buffer with a capacity of 36 units. Obviously, that's what we're upgrading. 5 seconds after the last damage received, or if the buffer overflows. The relic explodes, shattering obsidian shards in all directions, dealing damage. So it's sort of like accumulates damage and then does fawns damage outward into your enemies. We have the Aqua Waters, which you can basically find in any under the sea chest or coastland, things like that. Maybe even rivers and streams. I say maybe, I mean definitely, but like anything with a biome marker of, river, stream, creek, brook, water, and tributary, baby! This has moisture resistance for a certain period, allows walking on the surface of water. Similar to the Magma Walkers, you've got the Aqua Walkers. We have the Midnight Robe. This can be found in any dimension as long as the loot table contains end or stronghold. So I guess that means the end or the overworld. With a spawn weight of 500, it can also be found in any chest in the end dimension with a spawn weight of 100, so a fifth of the chance. This goes in your back slot and it has two abilities, Vanish and Betrayal. Vanish grants the wearer complete invisibility and increases their movement speed by 22% when the total light level is not 2. So, in the dark, you run very fast. And Betrayal. An attack while using the Vanish ability deals 6. So, when you're using this ability here, so when it's in very, very dark, and by the way, it's toggleable. So, if we press Shift, use the left Alt key outside any interface to call up Active Abilities menu. Ooh. Hang on a minute. And there we go. Look at that! Oh, blimey. So, always check your keybinds with those. I would say, for toggleable ones. And it will not work if you've been silenced. So always look at these little bits and bobs here on your abilities. So Betrayal means that when you attack while under the Vanish, you deal 60% increased damage, marking a circle with a radius of 20 blocks around the target and dispelling the wearer's invisibility. The Vanish ability can only be used again after the wearer exits that circle. The Drowned Belt can be found in any wet biome, like ocean, sea, marine, beach, river, etc. And that's got a spawn weight of 300, so a little bit more rare than the other ones we've said. And it's got 4. Load capacity increases the number of amulet equipment slots, which is amazing. Dead weight reduces swimming speed and increases your sinking speed, so that's not so good. Increases the damage dealt by the player underwater, however, by a humongous amount. But we get water attraction, allowing Trident's ability to be used without rain or water, but adds a cooldown to that weapon. The jellyfish necklace, again, can be found in water biomes and has 3 abilities. You don't sink in water, you deal damage when you collide with enemies, and this one, you have to level up to level 5 to work out what the hell it is. But, of course, you have me. This is called paralysis. Basically, when the electrical discharge, this one here, when that activates, paralysis is applied for your target for X amount of seconds. It's from 0.5 to 1.5 seconds, and then it has a maximum value, once leveled up, of 3 seconds. The Hunter Belt you can often find in the overworld, increases maximum number of amulet slots, and increases damage dealt by the wearer's pets by a humongous amount, pretty much the end. The Rage Gloves, again, you'll find in the Nether. You've got Berserker Rage, where each attack made by you within 3 seconds of the last accumulates 1 charge. Basically kind of ramping up your damage is how that works. The second one is called Lobotomy. And what this does is it increases your attack speed and movement speed while also granting passive health regen, depending on your missing health. And then we have Spurt. When activated, this third one is an activated one. It performs a dash in the direction that you're facing, igniting blocks, inflicting bleeding, and attacking every target in its path with the item in hand. Deals additional damage to each target, depending on how many charges are stored in the relic from your Berserker Rage ability. The Ice Skates. These are found in frozen biomes with a spawn rate of 300, and the skating ability increases movement speed on ice, etc. And then the hidden one, what does it do? I've forgotten. I have these all written down. Ram, while equipped in the feat slot, it enables you to ram. This is where, upon collision with targets, the relic deals damage per second of sliding from the skating ability. So you can sort of slide into people and do damage, basically. The Bastion ring. This is found in, you probably guessed it, bastions with piglins, etc. Makes piglins neutral, so you don't have to wear gold. You can just wear this ring instead. And then we also have respect, which basically each trade with a piglin has a chance to yield additional trade results. However, it can only happen 0 to 1 times when you first unlock it. When you level it up, it can happen a maximum of 6 times. Like, let's say the piglin would trade you 1 apple. You have a chance of that trade giving you 6 apples, which is actually really, really good for trading with piglins. So this one is the chorus inhibitor. You can probably guess what this does. Using a chorus fruit teleports the wearer to a block along the line of sight nearby. And this can be found in any chest in the end, but in any chest that uses an end or stronghold loot table, it has a spawn rate of 500. This is the space dissector, and this is most likely to spawn in ruined nether portal chests, and it can be in chests that have, like, you know, inferno, hell, chasm, lava, magma, blah blah blah. So it can spawn in the nether, but it has a much higher chance to spawn in chests which are ruined nether portal ones. This has one ability, dissection. Holding right mouse button creates a portal at a point along the line of sight. Releasing it within a distance of 25 blocks creates a second portal. Sort of like a portal gun nearby. This is the oh wow. So this one is called the Holy Locket, and you have to, like, tie up these dot to dots in order to unlock it. Now, as you'll see, this dot does not connect to this dot. So that's basically, you have to work out which dot goes with which dot. It's a bit like a fancy Formcraft one, like that one doesn't connect to there, doesn't connect to there, doesn't connect to there, does connect to there. Well, there's another dot there, that connects to there. Where does this one go? That one goes to there. Is that it? Oh, and it says hold shift for fully automatic ability research. But it will cost us some experience, which is 22 levels of experience. So let's get that XP. So if you get to this point and you're like, well, hang on a minute, there's no more stars to connect, then basically what you're trying to do is, can you see there's an image in the background? We want to make sure we're connecting the dot to dot with this image. So this, see here, there's a line that isn't connected. So I put my, wait, it's almost like it's done. There we go. And then you just click the, what's it called? Oh no, it did do that line. Yeah, I was right. I was going to say, like, you can see here in the image, there's a line behind it. I couldn't seem to connect those two together for some reason. But if you've got all of them connected to at least one other, then maybe you're missing a missing link, like in the middle here. Or you could just click this button here and use experience to automatically do the research for you. And now this is unlocked, which is called Faith. So it has two toggleable modes, holiness and unholiness. In the red holiness mode, it steals some of the healing from visible entities. And in the blue unholiness mode, it deals damage to all nearby enemies within the same radius, depending on healing received by you. The second one is called penitence, and this ignites undead nearby enemies. And the third ability is called ascension. Killing a target grants the relic wearer a temporary stacking immortality effect. The Ender Hand relic, basically this is going to be found in the end or stronghold loot tables. Pretty much. Neutrality makes Enderman neutral and swaps the user and the target along with line of sight with a range up to 20 blocks. That's end transition. The elytra booster can be found in the end biomes and basically speeds up elytras. We've got the magic mirror. This one, the ability is called Wormhole. Teleports the owner to their spawn point if it's within X amount of blocks. The higher the level, obviously, the further you can travel. And then it goes on cooldown for a shorter and shorter period. Again, depending on the level. And this one can be found in... it's a cave-based relic. Anything that contains like cave, cavern, grotto, hollow, den, chamber, crypt, or subterranean in the biome name. It can also be anything with the word mine, like mine shafts, for example. The icebreaker can be found in any icy biomes, increases fall speed, boosts knockback resistance, etc. by sliding on rocks, and earthquake. Prolonged use of the ability while falling up until landing will create a shockwave, which will do damage. Now we have the blazing flask, found in flamey nether biomes. Using the ability on a block creates a restricted flight zone with a maximum flight speed of this per second and a height of this. The area size depends on the amount of fire within a radius. Interesting. I guess it is good for like killing ghasts and things. Then we have the spore sack. This is in like jungles, rainforests, anything humid, bamboo. Spore mist. When a player's health drops below 50%, you release some homing spores around them. They will deal damage to equal to percentages of your missing health and block healing for affected targets for 5 seconds. It can only trigger once again the player's health rises above 50. So really, really good self-defense sort of mechanism there. We've got the shadow glaive, which the first one is mayhem. And this is going to deal damage that has a chance to trigger a projectile that bounces between enemy targets. And I forgot to tell you where to actually get it. And also the second ability. So this is going to again be in the end that you find this in end cities. And then the second ability is called cloning. Each projectile bounce has a chance to spawn an identical projectile that will equally chaotically bounce around. The roller skates can be found anywhere in the overworld with quite a small spawn rate of 100 weighting. Acceleration increases movement speed by 50% per second of movement. So it you kind of speed up and up and up. That's roller skates. We've got the infinite ham. A lot of people probably know the infinite ham. Let's just unlock this. So you can only find these in chests in villages and pillager outposts. But it has quite a high spawn rate of 500, meaning when you do find a village or pillager outpost, there's a high chance of getting the infinity ham. It will also spawn in similar structures added by other mods, like any kind of villagey places and outposts. Number 1, regeneration. You regenerate up to 6 edible chunks every X amount of seconds, restoring hunger points. And then the second abilities we have on here are going to be Marinade. Allows applying potion effects to the relic by left-clicking it with a potion in the inventory. And then the third one is Meat Bat. Allows the relic to be used as a melee weapon, dealing damage and stunning the target. I don't know how good that really is, but interesting enough. Then we have the Leather Belt. These are pretty common in the overworld chests, and they have load capacity, increases the maximum amount of amulets you can wear. Very, very simple. Wool mitten, it's found in like mountainy, icy biomes with mould. Collecting snow with an empty hand using right mouse button gradually forms special hardened snowballs, and you can hit targets with them and stun them. We've got the amphibian foot, found in oceans, etc. Fins, increasing swimming speed. Slipping, increasing movement speed in the rain. And gills, with a small % chance the player may not consume an air unit while swimming or in other conditions. 1%, 2% chance, that's really low. Don't know how much it is at higher chances, but that's really bad. Leafy Ring is a work in progress, so I guess I won't tell you about that one. Because at the moment it is work in progress. Phantom Boot is going to be in end or strongholds. We've got Phantom Bridge, which is this main ability here. Basically, Phantom Boot has a max... Phantom Bridge creates temporary Phantom Bridge beneath your feet that any relic owner can walk on. So kind of like an invisible bridge. And then lastly, Springy Boot. This is going to be in like mountains, peaks, summits, ridge, alp, highland, all of those kind of biomes. And basically, the usage ability here is elasticity, increasing the elasticity of all blocks compared to slime blocks, meaning you can bounce up and down on things. And there we go. That is everything added by the Relics mod. Hopefully this wasn't too tedious if you're watching the entire video. If you're one of my usual viewers, if you don't know me, then I do pretty much every mod in Minecraft. Well, that is my goal at least, to do every popular mod up to date.